Hi everybody, hope you're having a great day. I thought I would send you a quick lesson on comparing fractions on a number line. So this is about an 8-minute video, just going over some basics that we already know and giving you a tool to use to help you when you're comparing fractions on a number line. All right, so let's go over what we know. We know that if the numerator is 0, then the fraction is going to be equal to 0. For example, 0/7 is equal to 0 because we're using 0 out of the 7 parts. 0/4 is equal to 0 because we're using 0 out of the 4 parts. If we were to put that on a number line, you would see 0/4 is at the beginning of the number line. It's at 0. 2/4 is at the halfway mark, and 4/4 is at the whole. Okay, now 0, 1/2, and 1, those are 3 numbers, or one's a fraction, 2 are the whole numbers that you want to think about when you're comparing fractions. You want to think, is it closer to 0, closer to 1/2, or closer to 1 when you're looking at a fraction. We also know that when a fraction has the same number in the numerator and the denominator's place, it is equal to 1. For example, 7/7 is equal to 1 whole because we're using 7 out of the 7 parts. 4/4 is equal to 1 whole because, as you can see here, all 4 parts are being used or is shaded in. So it's equal to 1 whole. You could even say 123 123rds is equal to 1 because you're using all of the parts. But what if the numerator is half of the denominator? What do you notice in these fractions? 2/4, 3/6, 4/8, and 50/100. If you said that the numerator is half of the denominator, you're correct, right? 2 is half of 4, 3 is half of 6, 4 is half of 8, and 50 is half of 100. When the numerator is half of the denominator, it is equal to 1/2. So look at my first number line. I divided it into 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts, and I put 2/4 on the number line. You can see it's in purple. 2/4 is located right in the middle. Then I did 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3/6 is at the purple line in the middle. Then I divided a number line the same length into 8 equal parts, and I found that 4/8 is located right in the middle. So whenever you're looking at a fraction and you see that the numerator is half of what the denominator is, then you know it's half. It's equivalent to 1/2. So look at comparing 3/8 and 3/6. You notice that the denominators are not the same. The numerators are both 3, so they're both going to have 3 parts. But the denominators are different. 3/8 is going to be 3 out of 8 parts, and this is going to be 3 out of 6 parts. So I'm going to draw a number line, and I'm going to divide it into 8 equal parts, starting at 0 and ending at 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and label 3/8 with a blue dot. Then if I want to compare it to 3/6, I can draw another number line the same length and divide it into 6 equal parts, labeling it from 0 to 1 and labeling the sixths. Then I can go ahead and plot 3/6 on the number line. So now I can see just by looking at these two number lines that 3/8 is closer to 0, 3/6 is closer to 1, so 3/8 is less than 3/6. I can also go ahead and plot 3/6 on my 8th number line because these two fractions are equivalent. They're located at the same point on these two number lines that are the same length. What do you notice about the fractions? 4/8 and 3/6. 4 is half of 8, 3 is half of 6, so they are both located at the 1/2 mark. Okay, so if I knew that, I wouldn't even have to draw a number line because I would know, well, 3/8 is not half, 4/8 would be half. but 3/6 is half. So 3/6 is more than 3/8. When you compare two fractions, you can draw them on two number lines. So if you're not able to do it with the rules, you can draw number lines. You can also draw models like our circles and our pizzas, but I wanted to show you this way of drawing two number lines. So let's compare 2/8 and 3/4. For these two fractions, the numerators are not the same and the denominators are not the same. So I can't really use one of those rules of, well, the numerators are the same, so the smaller denominator is going to be the biggest. I can't do that. So I can either use reasoning or I could use a number line or a model. I'm going to use number lines. So I've divided this number line into 8 equal parts, and I labeled it from 0 to 1. Then I'm going to go ahead and find 2/8 and put my dot. Next, I'm going to draw a number line the same length and divide that one into 3/4. Sorry, into 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to place 3/4 on my number line. So just by looking at these two number lines, I can see that 2/8 is closer to 0. 3/4 is closer to 1. So 2/8 is less than 3/4. Then I can go ahead, and if I want, I can go ahead and put 3/4 on the number line of the eighths, because again, remember, these are equivalent. They're at the same point on the number line. So 6/8 is equal to 3/4. And then if I want to find my halfway mark, I can see that 4 is half of 8, 2 is half of 4, so there's my halfway mark. So again, when I'm comparing them, I can see that 2/8 is less than 3/4. Okay, I hope this helped a little bit with comparing fractions. And I will talk to you later on this week. Have a great week, guys.